this lesson, we're going to look at John's 2-minute pitch worksheet answers for the Senior Project Manager position at United Health in their Optum division. This is a pitch worksheet for the Innovation and Portfolio Management Department in the Optum Insight division of United Health. John's analysis of what the hiring team is looking for captures the position, a high-impact leader, and the overarching responsibility within the context of the company's mission to help transform healthcare. He identifies the business goals of United Health, recognizes where his main competition will come from, and identifies 3 qualities that he will emphasize to differentiate himself. John is targeting a large cap company, a Fortune 500 company capitalized at more than $100 billion. And he's ready to move back to the northern part of the U.S. Midwest. So the first question John reflects on is this: what does he want to lead with? How can he best position himself in the mind of the hiring manager? John chooses to emphasize his fluency with big data analysis and how that enables him to deliver on complex projects. Emphasizing big data lets John ride one of today's leading idea horses, the promise of big data. And that will help him position his youth as an advantage instead of as the disadvantage it might be to some recruiters. Next, John considers how he wants to refine his position in the mind of the hiring manager. He uses the powerful collocation, long-term relationships with clients, to signal his why, his perspective. John believes in building relationships, making implicit his commitment to integrity and trustworthiness, the foundations of a long-term relationship. Now John considers what stories he can use from his accomplishments file. He wants to tease the interviewer with enough hints so that the interviewer will find it worth his or her while to ask for more detail. This is John's longest response. He briefly introduces a key accomplishment, then itemizes what he can do for the hiring manager. In first place is to keep team morale high, which means getting his team members to stay focused and on point. He indicates his readiness to work with shifting timelines, and the direct value he sells is great customer feedback. Now John faces the $64,000 question. The term, a $64,000 question, is a cultural artifact from America. It has its roots in an old radio show where $64 was the top prize, and later a television show where $64,000 was the top prize. Today you often hear the $1 million question. We use these phrases to describe a crucial question where the stakes are high. But what makes John unique? What space in the mind of the hiring manager can John uniquely occupy? John claims a unique combination of leadership skills and a personal why that reaches into the mission goals of the host company. And the next question prompts John to further refine his positioning. He describes those aspects of his target position that will likely scare some competitors off. He emphasizes that those items that may scare others motivates him. I imagine he's using business code to say, yeah, I know I'll have to eat nails for this job. I love to eat nails. They're my favorite food. Finally, John is prompted to anticipate the hiring manager's main objection. John will come up with a response that turns that potential disadvantage into an advantage in the mind of the hiring manager. John anticipates that the hiring manager will object to his modest track record. John deploys a metaphor to cast his lack of experience as a plus. John's a promising startup. He's like the opportunity to invest in Google when its stock still traded under $100 a share. His pitch is, Yes, I'm a risk, but investing in me offers the chance of a big return. Then he correctly identifies two concerns a hiring manager might have about a candidate with decades of experience, the decades of experience that John lacks. The hiring manager won't have to worry about a senior candidate who's, quote unquote, been there and done that, and is inflexible about changing his modus operandi. John brings the openness a company wants from an innovative effort. Overall, John's mapped out a good strategy. Now listen again to how John responded to the "tell me about yourself" question.
I pride myself on being able to get things done on time, within budget, and most importantly, in such a way that the client is satisfied. And those are my three priorities: managing time, budgeting resources, and ensuring client satisfaction. If I had to pick one of those to put first, it would be customer service. I've been in customer service since I started working. I think my ability to organize and prioritize tasks, my budgeting skills, they all focus on a positive relationship with the client. And that focus has allowed me to take on more and more responsibility at every company I've worked for, including where I work today. I currently manage 2 multi-million-dollar projects with a wide range of deliverables. Of course, I make sure my teams understand their tasks and they're clear on their responsibilities. But I stress to them that our #1 priority is the client. I make sure we communicate status, listen to client feedback, and stay on track with client expectations. And this is where I think I can help United Health. I get really excited when I think about the impact healthcare can have on people. My ability to set high-performance goals and fulfill them, combined with my excellent analytical skills I bring to the table, can help you deliver the solutions you're looking for. Now, I do realize you're asking for 5+ years of experience, and I'm at the low end of that scale. But I've had the benefit of learning from some really excellent managers. I look forward to learning more from the first-class team that I'm sure you have at United Health.
You'll notice John did not respond verbatim from this worksheet. You want to respond collaboratively to an interview, as in a conversation. You don't want to mechanically recite a block of text. Now, John did use most of the ideas he had flushed out in his worksheet. He could have been stronger in some of his language, but he has material from the worksheet that he can use in response to follow-up questions. His strategy for handling a possible objection about his lack of experience, for example. He hasn't used it yet, but he has it available if needed later in the interview. That's the 2-minute pitch in a nutshell. It's the keystone of your job search. Getting your pitch right means saddling your horse for a stronger ride. In the next lesson, the last strategy lesson in this module before an advanced language lesson, you'll learn about streamlining your pitch. You'll learn how to create the classic 15 or 30-second format, known affectionately as your elevator pitch.